Yahoo Sports Tourney bracket now.
It is March, and we have a field of 68. Let's talk about it. We are your answer key for this year's bracket. Welcome to Yahoo Sports Tourney Bracket Now. I'm Andy Behrens, Yahoo Fantasy Analyst. My role here is just to make excuses for flawed Big Ten teams. I've been doing it my whole life. I am joined by two legitimate experts who really know this stuff. Yahoo Sports college basketball analyst Kristen Peak and Yahoo Sports betting analyst Frank Schwab. KP, I'm going to start with you. What or who has got you most excited about this year's tourney?
Oh man, this is the best time of the year. There's something for everyone. If you're an NBA guru, you're going to see the best NBA draft prospects. We're looking at Gonzaga to make a redemption run and Coach K's last run in the tournament. And they're in the same region. There's so much to get to, and I'm so excited for this time of year.
Frank, I hope you're ready to grow the bankroll. Are we going to reinvest in Big Ten teams after last year's debacle?
We'll see about that, Andy. Look, I love this field. It's a wide open tournament. But I think we need to take a minute and appreciate just that the tournament as we know it is back. Obviously, nothing in 2020. 2021 was fine, but it was all in Indiana, not really fans. This year, we got all the regions back, all the sites. Fans are back. Let's hope to have a normal tournament this year. It's just so glad to be back to normal that way.
Oh, that is very well said. Let's dive right into the brackets. We're going to start with the West region, where number 1 overall seed Gonzaga is at the top. Duke is the 2. And in between, I got to be honest, it's kind of a minefield for Gonzaga. They could potentially face Memphis, Arkansas, Texas Tech, then Duke. That's quite a gauntlet. But let's talk about a fun potential upset in the 7-10 matchup here. We got Michigan State, we got Davidson. These teams are back-to-back, 40 and 41 at Ken Pom. Michigan State went 5-8 down the stretch. How do we size this thing up? Frank, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, you said it with Michigan State. To go 5-8 down the stretch, not very good. We all like to think that Tom Izzo has some magic in March, and maybe he does. They look better in the Big Ten tournament. But that slide really has me off Michigan State. I like Davidson. They could fill it up. They could shoot it. Have a lot of veterans. They're well coached by Bob McKillop. I really like Davidson in this first round matchup to beat the number 7 seed Michigan State.
Frank, I'm with you. I like Davidson too. Like you mentioned, March used to be Tom Izzo's month, but this Michigan State team is so hot and cold, and they're not a great road team, losing 5 out of the last 6 road games to close out the season. I'm with Davidson with this upset.
Let's look down the bracket just a little bit at a potential game that we might like to see. And can I interest anyone in a Gonzaga-Duke rematch in the Elite Eight? It could happen. KP, what would that look like?
Oh man, this would be the game of the tournament, I think. I was at the game back in November in Las Vegas. That felt like a game in March. You had every NBA scout was in the building for Chet versus Paolo. Paolo Banchero and Duke came out on top 84-81, with Banchero finishing with 21 points, including 3 threes. This is a rematch that everyone wants to see, and we pray to the March gods that it happens.
It would be a great game. If we get there, I have some reservations about Duke. We're going to get to them in a second. But yeah, these two teams played a great game all the way back at the beginning of the season. Duke won that one. I think that this would have the most NBA talent on the floor at one time. It would be a phenomenal game. If it happens, I look forward to it, but Duke's got to get there first. We'll get to that in a second.
Kristen, for people like me who, when they view the tournament, they're really thinking about future fantasy basketball drafts, who's a player that we should be keeping an eye on in the West?
There's only one player that everyone wants to see this year in the NCAA tournament, and that's 7-footer Chet Holmgren. He's only 195 pounds, but do not be fooled by his slight frame. He was incredible during conference play, but he struggled when Gonzaga faced Power 5 opponents. He only averaged 9.6 points and 8 rebounds during tougher competition. He's one of the best shot blockers in America and is truly one-of-a-kind prospect we've never seen before.
All right, Frank, give us your best bets for this region.
You know, I'm going to start with a regional pick. When you have a favorite like Gonzaga, who's minus 140, that's pretty overwhelming. I'm looking for value elsewhere, and I'm going to find it with Arkansas at 14-1. Razorbacks played really well down the stretch. They can run. They have the athletes. I think they could throw Gonzaga off a little bit in a Sweet 16 match. I think they could upset the Bulldogs in what would be a monumental upset there. So give me Arkansas plus 1,400 to go to the Final Four. Then give me Memphis minus 2.5 in their first round game against Boise State. I think we really saw Memphis take off these past few weeks. Very talented team, very good. Boise State's good, but I think Memphis is a lot better. They're going to get to the second round, and that's going to set up a really good game against Gonzaga. And my third betting tip for this region, bet against Duke. Duke stumbled down the stretch. They're playing nowhere near their talent level. Something is off with the Blue Devils. I know the Coach K story and all that. That's great. Whatever. Got blown out by North Carolina. Barely beat Syracuse. Didn't beat Virginia Tech in the ACC final. They got handled there. So I'm betting against Duke every chance I can get in this region.
Love those calls. Love the Memphis call in particular. The committee did Gonzaga no favors with that potential matchup. Let's quickly touch on who we like to actually advance out of the West. I'll get us started, and I'm gonna start off with chalk like a coward. I'm gonna go Gonzaga. I just think that they're a one-of-one sort of team in this tournament. Love Timmy, love Holmgren, love the fact that they have some experience making that run to the Final Four last year. Gonzaga's gonna be my pick here. Kristen, who do you like?
Listen, I know this is an unpopular opinion, but I'm a believer in the Coach K magic. They've already managed to get a number 2 seed after losing to North Carolina and Virginia Tech late in the season over a team like Tennessee, who won the SEC title and had better wins in a tougher conference. So the March gods are already on Coach K's side. They have a solid floor general with Wendell Moore Jr. and superstar Paolo Banchero, who are going to lead this team to send Coach K off on a high note.
You know, I just can't go with you there, Kristen. Obviously, don't like Duke and Gonzaga. Everybody can pick Gonzaga, Andy. I'm going to go big or go home here. Give me Arkansas. I said them before. They played really, really well down the stretch. I think this team is under the radar because they didn't make a run in the SEC tournament. A 4 seed, I really like them. They play a style that's going to throw off some teams. Give me the Razorbacks. This is a really good team, guys. They can make a run. They can upset the apple cart here, knock off Gonzaga, and get to a Final Four.
Let me just say, if you guys think that was a bold call from KP, stick around. There's more coming. Brackets are here, so join Yahoo Fantasy's Tourney Pick'em $25,000 best bracket contest. Create a bracket for free and get a piece of the action. Sign up at yahoo.com/tourney. Let's move now to the South region, where Arizona, the Pac-12 champs, are at the top. I can actually make an argument that Arizona has a somewhat easier road than Gonzaga, to be honest here. Houston, I got to think they were just straight up insulted with the 5 seed. They were 10th in offensive efficiency, 11th in defensive efficiency this year. That is just a tough seeding predicament for them. The bottom of this bracket is a party. Tennessee, Nova, Loyola Chicago, the Fightin' Blue Hens of Delaware. But let's talk about an upset that I think everyone's picking. I don't even know if it will be an upset. Let's talk about Ohio State and Loyola Chicago. Ohio State has lost 4 of 5 coming into this tournament. Frank, break this one down.
Yeah, there's a reason everybody's picking Loyola Chicago. How many years in a row are we going to underseed Loyola? They should not be a 10 seed. They're very good. We know we're getting out of them by now. They're a tournament brand name. They had the Final Four run, knocked off a number 1 seed last year. Go ask Illinois how good Loyola Chicago is. And this Ohio State team stumbled down the stretch. Look, Big Ten disappointed in the tournament last year. They're probably going to disappoint again this year. As a Big Ten alum, it's not nice to say it, but it's going to happen. Loyola Chicago, give me them over Ohio State in this game.
Frank, I disagree. I love the pace and game of this Ohio State team. They have, a tough and versatile forward with E.J. Liddell doing a bit of everything on the court to close out the season. And then you got freshman Malachi Branham, who's climbing up draft boards with the way he creates for his teammates. I have the Buckeyes in this one, and I'm not with everyone on this upset.
Okay, looking down the road a little bit, let's just say hypothetically that we get the Houston-Illinois 4-5 matchup. Again, Houston disrespected a bit by the committee with this seed. If it happens, and they both got work to do, how do we think that one would shake out? KP, I'll start with you.
Anytime I can pick against Illinois, I'm going to do it. I'm choosing with my heart.
Yeah.
Houston is a sneaky good team in the tournament. Let's not forget that they made a run to the Final Four last year. And they have Fabian White Jr. back on the court, who put up 20 points on Memphis in the AAC championship game. I like Houston in this one.
You know, I have to ask, are either of these teams going to get there? They have tough first-round games now. UAB is really good. They're going to test Houston. Chattanooga's going to test Illinois. I will go with Houston if this matchup does take place. I just don't like what I saw from Illinois. I want to believe in Illinois. They should be better than they are, but they're just not. I think Houston is very well coached. They overcame some injuries. There's a good brand in college basketball now, the Houston Cougars. So I would take them over Illinois because, hey, Illinois comes to the Big Ten, and I'm just going to be fading the Big Ten all month.
Fair enough. KP, who's the prospect that we should be keeping an eye on in this region?
It's 6'6" guard Ben Mathurin out of Arizona. This is Tommy Lloyd's first season, and Mathurin elected to return for his sophomore year and play for Lloyd after testing the NBA waters. He's phenomenal in the open court and dished out 7 assists in the Pac-12 championship against Arizona. If Arizona is going to make a deep run, which, Andy, like you said, you think they have an easy way to the Final Four, it all starts with Mathurin.
All right, Frank, tell us how to invest in the South.
You know, it's a little bit of recency bias in play, but I'm going to Tennessee, not only to win it all at 20-1, but also plus 550 to win the region. You watch the SEC tournament, you saw them play really well, and then you re-examine their resume and you realize there are no bad losses for the Volunteers all year. They did beat Arizona, they did beat Kentucky. This is a good team with an elite defense. So give me Tennessee on some future bets. For the first round game, I'm going to go with Colorado State over Michigan. Michigan, Big Ten, hey, Michigan, not good this season. Colorado State is a very good team under the radar, so give me them plus 120. Underdog somehow as the 6th seed here. And the one tip I have in this bracket, bet on Loyola Chicago as long as you can. They're underseeded. They're underrated. We've seen them make tournament runs before. Sister Jean's still here. Give me Loyola Chicago basically every round I can because this team's going to make some noise.
Oh, you said you were going to fade the Big Ten, and it is definitely happening. Let's quickly touch on who we actually like to advance out of this region. I'm going to stay chalky. I'm not usually this much of a coward, but I'm going to stay chalky. I'm going to go with Arizona here. Maybe it's a little bit of recency bias. We just saw them crumple up and throw away the rest of the Pac-12. They look great doing it. They're long, they're tall, they're hyper talented. Really like Arizona out of this region. Kristen, who are you going with?
I'm not going shocking. I'm going with Tennessee, the SEC champs. I know a lot of people love to pick against Rick Barnes in March, but they're playing well late in the season with freshman Kennedy Chandler and Josiah Jordan-James, leading one of the best backcourts in the country. They got snubbed as the number 3 seed, but I think they can still make it out of this region.
Yeah, KP, Rick Barnes' first round history is a problem. Let's put it that way, but I'm still going to go with the Volunteers. They look so good in that SEC tournament. Look, this team was underseeded because the SEC tournament finishes on Sunday. The committee didn't adjust. This should not be a 3 seed. They're closer to a 1 seed than a 3 seed. People are going to look at their brackets, just see 3 seed, whatever. This team is very, very good. Probably one of the top 5 in the country. I really like Tennessee to go to the Final Four.
All right, not a lot of agreement here, and that's a good thing. We need to regroup. When we return, we're going to hit the remaining 2 regions, so please stick around.
I got a Mike parlay going tonight.
Huh?
I bet on every team with a player named Mike.
That's dumb.
It's Mike night.
Bet however you want. Yahoo Sportsbook is your ticket to BetMGM.
B, I want the real B.
I feel like I'm a starter. Everybody feel like I'm a starter.
If you don't know me, feel free to judge.
Muhammad Ali, Bill Russell, Jackie Robinson. Those guys were giants whose shoulders I stood on.
Did you talk to LeBron?
We never really talked about those battles. We moved forward from that.
There's some lines that even ambassadors shouldn't cross.
Will filling out a women's bracket for March Madness solve all the inequity in sports? No. But it's where we'll start. Degree is launching the Bracket Gap Challenge because more brackets could mean more hype, more fans, and more recognition for these women.
Welcome back to Tourney Bracket Now. Andy, Kristen, and Frank here with you. We're halfway through the regions in this year's NCAA men's tournament. Let's now take a look at the Midwest region. It's home to America's team. The Iowa Hawkeyes might be my alma mater. Kansas is the 1 seed here. That's a loaded team from a dominant conference. Providence is here, winners of a great many close games this season. The bottom of this bracket gives us Auburn, Wisconsin, other delights. Let's talk about a really fun first-round game. I think a lot of people are going to be picking this as an upset, kind of an upset. Let's talk about Providence versus the South Dakota State Jackrabbits, a really fun team. Frank, get us started.
Yeah, before the bracket was revealed, I knew 2 things. Everybody was going to be picking South Dakota State. They're darling because they lead the nation in three-point shooting. And everybody was going to be picking against Providence because their metrics don't really line up with their record because of a lot of close wins. And what happens? They get matched up against each other. That means everybody's picking the Jackrabbits in the first round. Absolutely everybody. And I will too. I don't like to do it because I like Providence. They are a good team. There's some skill in winning all these close games. But South Dakota State can shoot the lights out. They're such a joy to watch on offense. I'm going to just go chalk. I guess it's chalk with a 13 seed everybody's picking, right? So give me South Dakota State.
I'm with you, Frank. I'm taking South Dakota State as well. This is a team that has not lost a game since mid-December and have a ton of upperclassmen talent, led by senior wing Douglas Wilson, who's averaging 16.5 points per game. I don't know anybody that I've talked to that's going to take Providence. Andy, what do you think?
No way. Jackrabbits are shooting 44% from 3. That's absolutely ridiculous. They haven't lost in this calendar year. Really fun team. Let's look down the road just a little bit here. Talk about a hypothetical, again, not guaranteed, hypothetical Wisconsin-Auburn tilt that would feature a pair of lottery picks. I feel like Frank should recuse himself from any Wisconsin discussion. So, Kristen, I'm going to start with you.
Oh, man, this is a fun matchup. You said it. You got Johnny Davis. You got Jabari Smith. You got Wisconsin has more side in the backcourt, but the front court duo of Walker Kessler and Jabari Smith is one of the best in the country. I'm taking Auburn in this one. They have the potential #1 pick in Jabari Smith, and when Wendell Green Jr. gets hot from deep, this is a very dangerous team.
You know, to get me to break this down, you have to lead me to believe that my alma mater, Wisconsin, is getting to the Sweet 16. Not so sure after the last couple of games. You lose to Nebraska, you lose to Michigan State. But if this does happen, it would be a fun matchup, but I would go Auburn. And not just because I'm fading the Big Ten, but Auburn is one of those teams, looked great in February, got up to #1 in the polls. They have Jabari Smith. They're a really good team. I think there's big things in store for the Tigers this month. I would go Auburn there, but I'm not certainly convinced that Wisconsin's making the Sweet 16 anyway yet.
Kristen, you mentioned the potential #1 overall pick in the NBA draft here. I assume that's who we're keeping an eye on in this region?
Oh, 1,000%. You have to watch Jabari Smith. If you are a fan of the NBA, you have to watch this player. Right now, I think he's the best NBA prospect in the tournament and this draft class. He's led the SEC in three-point field goal percentage as a 6'10" forward, shooting 42%. He knocked down 7 threes in a win over Vanderbilt late in the season and is also a very difficult player to guard with how versatile he is on offense.
All right, Frank, let's make people a little bit of money in this region. Are we talking Iowa here? No? Yes?
No, Iowa last I looked is in the Big Ten, so no, I won't be doing that. But I will take Auburn 14-1 to win it all. Kristen said it all. Jabari Smith is a transcendent player. He could go #1 in the NBA draft. I think he's going to have a huge tournament. Everybody who doesn't know him now will know him by the end of the month. So I'll take another future bet there with Auburn 14-1. We've already talked about South Dakota State. Everybody in the world's going to be on that. Take it now, plus 120, because it's only going to go down when everybody bets it. And then, I hate to say it, but Colgate plus 7.5 against my Wisconsin Badgers. Yeah, I got to punch that ticket. Colgate can shoot it. And Johnny Davis did not look right in the Big Ten tournament. Got hurt in the regular season finale. Shot 3 of 19 from the field against the Spartans. I need to see Johnny Davis healthy for Wisconsin before I really buy in there. So give me Colgate and the points in that game.
All right, we're going to touch on the teams that we like to advance out of this region. And if you don't think I'm taking the Iowa Hawkeyes, you're crazy. It's happening. They've got Keegan Murray's playing as well as anybody in the country. They just won 4 games in the Big Ten tournament. They're playing outstanding right now. They've got Jordan Bohannon, the only holdover from their Final Four team in 1980. I expect that both of you are going to come along with me here. Kristen, do you like the Hawkeyes?
I love this Iowa team. I'm with you. I am with you all the way. They have all the pieces that make up a team prime for a deep run, led by the #1 scorer in the country, Keegan Murray, who led the Big Ten in scoring and is averaging 24 points per game this season. He also broke the Big Ten tournament scoring record with 105 points, including 32 points and a win over Indiana. So I am all about this Iowa team.
Oh my goodness, if this actually happens, Iowa fans will be unbearable. Most of all, Andy over there. So, no, it's not going to happen. Give me Auburn. They have the star power here. Look, Jabari Smith, we talked about him a lot, but Walker Kessler, premier shot blocker, changes their whole defense. They have tough-minded guards. They don't hit a ton of threes, and that worries me a little bit. It worries me that they stumbled a bit down the stretch. But this team that got to number 1 in the polls is still there. Love their roster construction. Love Bruce Pearl as a coach. I think they can make a run. The same Auburn team that was number 1 a few weeks ago, still talented, still there, just a little bit off the radar now that they stumbled a bit down the stretch.
Just a reminder, guys, that brackets are here. You too can pick Iowa. Join Yahoo Fantasy's Tourney Pick'em $25,000 best bracket contest. Create a bracket for free and get a piece of the action. Sign up at yahoo.com/tourney. Okay, that's 3 regions down. We got 1 to go. Let's take a look at the East, where the defending champs, Baylor, are your top seed. We have a lot of college hoops royalty, actually, in the top of the region here. We got North Carolina, we got Indiana, we got UCLA. The bottom of this region is so spicy. Murray State, Virginia Tech, winners of the conference tournament. We got Kentucky. That's a fun team. Let's talk about it all, and let's focus first of all on a really exciting first round matchup. We got Murray State and San Francisco. The Racers have not lost since December. How dangerous are they? Frank, we'll start with you.
Yeah, first of all, I hate when mid-majors I really like it matched up like this in the first round. I think both of these teams should have a shot at one of the power conference teams, but one of them's going to get knocked out by the other. I'm going to go Murray State here. Nothing really against San Francisco. They are a good team, but Murray State, like you said, they're on this great roll. They do everything well. This is a really, really good team that most people probably just haven't seen because they don't play in the big, shiny spotlight. But Murray State, very, very good. You're going to enjoy watching this team, and I think they're going to beat San Francisco and move on.
I'm with you, Frank. I love this Murray State team. Their last loss, like you said, was in December when they played a tough Auburn team. There's a lot of depth to this team led by KJ Williams and Justice Hill. This is my Cinderella team this year, and I think they can pull a little Ja Morant magic and make a huge run.
Okay, looking down the road just a little bit. Again, not guaranteeing that this matchup is going to happen, but it would be fun if it materializes. Baylor and UCLA. This is a pair of Final Four teams last year. They could meet in this year's tournament. Kristen, how would that one go?
I mean, if you think about it, this could have been a rematch of the championship game if Jalen Suggs did not hit that half-court shot in overtime last year to beat UCLA. But I'm taking UCLA in this one. Baylor has a couple key injuries. They're not the same team as last year. And UCLA returned almost every starter with Johnny Juzang and Jaime Jaquez leading the Bruins to another big run.
Yeah, this is an interesting matchup because, like you said, Baylor does have some key injuries. Lost their leading rebounder already. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name, but I can't pronounce LJ Cryer, their leading scorer, who I don't think is going to make it back for the tournament. If he does, that changes Baylor a little bit. But as is, I'm going to be taking UCLA. I'm going to be fading Baylor a little bit here. UCLA, a little overrated because of that Final Four run last year, but they have the talent, they have the experience. They did play well this year. They're getting better. Just lost to a really good Arizona team in the Pac-12 final. I think UCLA would knock off Baylor here. I like UCLA's long-term prospects more than I like the Bears.
Kristen, there's no shortage of exciting prospects in this region. Who's the one that we should keep an eye on?
It's Jaden Ivey from Purdue. If there's any player in this entire tournament that is even a little bit like Ja Morant, it's Jaden Ivey. They worked out together last summer. Jaden Ivey's mom used to be on the Grizzlies coaching staff. They have similar finishes at the rim, and he can shoot it from deep. Ivey is the key to this Purdue team going deep in the tournament, and he's also a potential top 5 draft pick in the NBA draft in June.
Frank, the money. Let's make it. What are we betting in this region?
You know, the good news is right before the tournament, there was an intervention for me to stop betting Texas. Oh my goodness, they've been so disappointing all year. I'm going the opposite way now. Virginia Tech in that first round game. We saw Virginia Tech's true colors here. I like Virginia Tech coming into the season. They struggled a little bit, but then got hot in the ACC tournament. They can really hit the three ball, and Texas just has been underwhelming all year, so give me Virginia Tech to move on there. Then we're going to go to Murray State. This line has flipped. It started San Francisco as favored. Now Murray State's favored by 1.5. Give me Murray State. They haven't lost since Ja Morant was there, as we know. And then I like North Carolina against Marquette. North Carolina's kind of lukewarm for most of the year, but I think they're hitting their stride a little bit where Marquette's going the other way. Marquette was awesome in January, but that team doesn't work here anymore. I've lost a little bit of money chasing that Marquette team. Not going to keep doing it. I think North Carolina absolutely rolls over Marquette.
All right, let's quickly touch on who we like to advance out of this region. I'll get us started. Give me Kentucky here. I'm finally taking a 2 seed. It's still kind of chalky, but give me the 2 seed here. Give me Oscar Tshiebwe. He's averaging 17 and 15 on the year with blocks, with steals. He's been fantastic. I really want to see him in this Final Four. KP, give it to us. Who do you like?
All right, this does not feel like a chalk year. I feel like there could be a bunch of bracket-breaking upsets in this tournament. And Murray State has all the tools to be that Cinderella team this year. They're shooting close to 50% from the field, 36% from three-point range as a team, and again, are loaded with upperclassmen and experience. They've never made it past the round of 32, but if they can pull off a win over Kentucky, this is a Final Four team. Hot take.
Wowee. How do I follow that, right? I got 2 seed Kentucky. I guess I'm going to go kind of chalky here. Not a pick I really love, to be honest, but almost by default. Don't love anybody else more in this bracket. And like you said, Andy, Oscar Tshiebwe having an unbelievable year. He's going to be National Player of the Year, I assume. He could carry a team for a while. He's a matchup problem for everybody. This is a very good Kentucky team. Maybe not the star-studded teams we've seen from the Wildcats before, but certainly capable of going to the Final Four, and they're my pick to win this region.
All right, after the hottest take in the history of hot takes from KP, we got to regroup again. We got to take another quick break. When we come back, we're discussing our Final Four picks. Stick with us.
Hey, bro.
Love your fantasy team.
What? My team sucks.
Yeah, I know. I bet the under on all of your players. Points, rebounds, everything. I can't thank you enough.
Mom! Bet however you want. Yahoo Sportsbook is your ticket to BetMGM.
When I'm decorating a space, I start with how I feel. I then can picture what's missing. I'm always shopping to find the right piece. Flea markets, websites, even my Yahoo Mail.
Oh, it's so perfect!
The right piece just makes the space come alive. It brings it all together.
Will filling out a women's bracket for March Madness solve all the inequity in sports? No. But it's where we'll start. Degree is launching the Bracket Gap Challenge because more brackets could mean more hype, more fans, and more recognition for these women.
All right, it's trophy time on Tourney Bracket now. We've discussed the regions. Now we're going to talk about who's going to take it home in NOLA. Let's run through our Final Four picks. Frank, who do you got to win it all?
You know, I didn't mean for this to happen, but I ended up on 4 SEC teams in my Final Four. Thought about changing it. I'm like, nope, gonna go with it. It's like a football tournament here in the SEC. I'm gonna go with Auburn over Kentucky in my final. I just can't quit this Auburn team and a tantalizing, talented Jabari Smith.
All right, give me Gonzaga over Kentucky in one of these semifinals in what I hope is a classic. I can't wait to see this game. Then in the other, you know how badly I want to take Iowa, but I got to go with Arizona. They're so good. They're so long. Again, they just destroyed the Pac-12. Want to see this Arizona-Gonzaga matchup, and give me Gonzaga to win it all. And I will yield the rest of my time to KP because I love her bracket.
Andy, I know you want redemption road for Gonzaga, but it's not going to happen. They're not even going to make it out of the region. It's going to be Duke and Murray State in the Final Four on one side, Duke winning, and then also Tennessee and Iowa. And then the Coach K magic runs out, and the Hawkeyes get their first title ever in school history.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'll riot. I will go on a week-long bender.
All right?
Whew. You won't see me for a week. You might not see me for a month. I'll be hanging out with AC Earl in Bettendorf. We're going to do a full tour of Iowa. I can't wait for this to happen. I need this to happen. I love it. And this will serve as your final reminder that brackets are here. Join Yahoo Fantasy's Tourney Pick'em $25,000 best bracket contest. Create a bracket for free and get a piece of the action. Sign up at yahoo.com/tourney. That will do it for us here on Tourney Bracket Now, but stick around, please, on Yahoo Sports, as we'll preview the women's tournament next on our Made It Monday special presented by Degree. Christina Williams, Cassandra Negley, and Natalie Achanwa will break down everything for you. For Kristen, for Frank, for Evan Doherty, our producer, for everyone behind the scenes, thanks for watching. Good luck with your brackets.